We're live. Be right back. I'm listening. Cool. It'd be great to follow along on your screen.
Yeah, I don't see you either.
No.
Nope. Nope. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the first tab, these goals 1 and 5. Yeah.
Save your check.
Oh, your check rate sucks. So 2, 3, and 4 are the real things that we're going for, right? So we need to figure out how we want to figure out, like, how much do we want to be claimable, how long do we want to do liquidity mining for, and how much goes into each pool. Now, there's not like a direct answer for these things. We have to just kind of feel it. We just have to Goldilocks it, as is said. And the things that will help us Goldilocks it that are 1 and 5. We need to figure out, like, how much is actually part of the circulating supply, and we need to do some parameter sweeps on APRs. So there's this first tab is like, we can change these numbers, and when these numbers change, we all know this tab because it's like, but we can mess with this. Like, we can say, 52 weeks, let's make it just 6 months. Okay, let's change how much is going to each of these. We can if we change any of these things, it will affect the rest of the spreadsheet. And this is the other thing that's interesting. With the liquidity mining, we can have a different percent being released every month. So maybe we want it to be all the same. Okay, then we make it all the same. But we can change this yellow column basically, and that will impact the next spreadsheet. And the next spreadsheet is a mess. I'm not gonna lie. But it works. So it would be nice to clean it up, and maybe that's what I'll work on during this call. But it works. So, like, up here this is how many tokens we're giving away in total for liquidity mining. And then there's the initial amount that's unlocked, right? These are about the vesting. Thank you, Lauren, for the great comments in here. Yeah, Willie?
Just
Oh, I was laughing at your comment there.
Yeah.
laughing at the cred.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, Delta T total, I'm so sorry. But all of these first two rows are like constants in a way, right? But most of them are attached to the other sheets. Like ideally we don't change too much in this sheet. Like if you see that it's a number, then go ahead and change it. But if it's like something else, it's like, oh, this comes from the Give Liquidity Mining Program sheet, right? So, okay, initial unlock is determined here, right there. Oh, and guess what? That's actually from the token distribution sheet. Okay, What do you know? It's actually here. This is the real constant that we want to change if we want to change this. So, so we'll go back to this. These are just for calculating the vesting amount, like the release period. These two variables, and that's like, it's a starting point. Anyway, we'll get to that later, I guess. Then these are kind of like estimates, and this is something that is still unknown, or something on our to-do list. We have to figure out from here, like, how many of these tokens will actually be released into the market, and how much will be
Deposited in the liquidity pools.
Yeah, locked in our GIV, really, and not really like cannot go to liquidity pools.
Right. Yeah, that'll be huge. So knowing what the total amount that we're airdropping, the amount that we assume will get claimed, and then from that the amount that we assume will get deposited in the liquidity pools, basically. And knowing that a lot of that's going to be locked up at the very beginning.
Yeah,
That's going to give us. Go ahead.
Most of it will be, and then there's also kind of some of it might be released for other things, right? Like conviction voting DAO might actually start releasing some liquid tokens for paying for stuff. So it'd be nice to get some sort of estimate. Just make a guess, make our best guess about some sort of like rate that our conviction voting DAO might be paying out, or maybe we'll, the RGive DAO might be paying out some tokens too for different things. So
Give back programs.
Yeah. Oh, and givebacks, absolutely. Yeah, givebacks will absolutely be released. So this is like the initial circulating supply, and then there's like the new circulating supply every week, right?
Cool.
And this is like an extra release.
And that is an input right there in this sheet.
Yeah. These are both inputs.
Cool.
Inputs. And then, so this initial unlock, how long we're staking, years of vesting, which is also a variable. Hey, maybe we want to do 10 years. Why not? The gift that keeps on giving for 10 years. And then the ratio of give for LPs. So this is kind of a complicated one, but it's basically like it's really important that we have an understanding of how much is being earned by each of these pools. So like, because if we change one of these, then it changes the total liquidity required. So like in this pool, 50% is GIV tokens, 50% is Ether. We can cancel out the price and basically say it's 100% GIV tokens. But like, yeah, what's important is like at these ratios, if it's 2% for each one of these, then this is 66%. Like the liquidity mining on average is like 66% of all the pools. Oh, sorry. 66% of all the pools is GIV tokens.
Got it.
And that's how we can estimate the total value locked.
Because it'll be the number of GIV tokens, the price of GIV, and that ratio, and then there'll be another 34% of value, that'll be other tokens.
Exactly. And what's cool about these spreadsheets is that we don't know what the price will be, but if we can use this ratio to cancel out the price, and we don't need to know what the price is to do
nice.
To find all the APYs.
Cool.
And then where's that 300%? Oh, it's down here. Okay, so then we have like this bottom part, right? So this right here, this is based off this math. This per week line needs to be adjusted to be connected to this. I haven't done that yet, but I want to connect it to this, right? So that needs to happen.
What is that per week? Is that how much where the total circulating supply we're rewarding?
Yes, exactly. So, like for instance, this is 10.10% of the tokens that we're giving away will be released in the first month, in this first set, right? And so this is like the beginning of week 1. This is the beginning of week 2, the end of week 1. Start counting at 0. And so like, yeah, this is, so we can use this. Really, this line what I'll probably do is I'll make this line the let's change your computers. Good idea.
Oh no!
What did I do?
You just rage quit the call. You hit the back button on the mouse.
Oh, cool. Where do I share?
To say that I'm here and I have really awesome internet and I'm listening and following along.
Nice. Hey, Danny.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, your connection's excellent.
Sorry, we're having some.
I guess the
technical
internet
fun.
cafe isn't having as good of a connection.
It's not that. It's just
Oh,
my
internet
mouse has
cafes.
like a back button
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it that's easy to pump.
Yeah, I don't know how to use Laura's
Well, they woke up
computer.
this morning and the internet wasn't working, so they headed into town, and then it came back on like an hour or two later.
Can you guys hear me?
No, we can't. Oh, we're
I
muted.
forget there's still places that will charge you just to use internet.
It's super cheap though. What is that? Like $2 for a day?
24 hours.
Oh, that's a deal.
Yeah, feels good. Okay.
It used to be a lot more expensive here.
So this column 3 is going to define how much we release, and it's something that we can change. So like you can edit this column.
Oh,
Right?
so you're saying this is something we set. Okay,
Yeah.
so that we can decrease. So we're giving out more in the beginning and less later on.
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to make this equal to the sum
What are you doing right now?
of, I can't help myself, some of these. Okay, so now this, if we change it here, then it gets changed over there. So we can change this. And this is like, we can basically say how much we want to release every week. It should probably just be the same every week. You know, we don't have to make it more complicated, but the spreadsheet gives us the power to be complicated if we want it to be.
Cool. Yeah, I do see a lot of projects have their rate decrease over time, so there's some good precedent for that.
Yeah.
It is kind of counterintuitive, especially when we're starting with such low circulation that, and you're expecting more liquidity to get locked up. It's interesting that the rate decreases. So I don't have strong feelings for that, which we should do.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of thinking along those lines too. I was thinking it decreases and then it increases at the end.
Interesting.
But I mean, I don't know if that's the right way to go at all. I was just kind of playing with it. But this is where we are. We get to play with it.
Totally. And whatever we decide from these exercises basically is it gets set in stone, set on the blockchain. From what I understand, is that basically we deploy the contract and fund it, and I don't think we have the ability to change it really. We might be able to cancel it if we need to, if there's in case of an emergency, and start from scratch.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we can adjust it.
Yeah, exactly. And it will be really annoying. And I'm sure this has happened to you guys where, like even Pancake V2, right? And Pancake Swap, you had to migrate your liquidity. Uniswap, you had to migrate your liquidity. We would have the same issue. We would have to migrate our liquidity. And that's just how these are, unfortunately. Like, I don't think it's worth us rolling our own to avoid that issue. But that's why maybe we only set it up to be 6 months,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking along those lines. Just start at 6 months and then learn a lot over the 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
By the time we get next round, we'll have a really good idea. And governance will be able to decide, here's the rate going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we have like these rows. These rows are like, this one is how much is being distributed versus how much is liquid in the pool. I think I'll have to look that up. Let's see, C8. Yeah, so this is the estimated liquid tokens total, and this is how many tokens are being given away, right? Being given to people. But only a percentage of this is claimable. So it's like we would be giving away 20% of the tokens, but of course only like 20% of all tokens in existence would be given that are liquid would be given away during this amount. But it's probably not. Anyway. And then so this is the number of liquid tokens. This is the pool. How much would be pooled at 300% APY, and the place that's changed is here.
Cool. So you can kind of target an APY.
Yeah. So the spreadsheets, I'm trying to make it so you can do both. So this will change that 200, and then it changes it even in the text there. Changes it everywhere.
So that's how many we'd have to have pooled, and you can see right now that we couldn't have that. We couldn't have that APR because there'd have to be more tokens pooled than our liquid. Is that right?
Let's see. That's probably true.
Right, well, so it's good. It's good for the purpose because we can be like, oh, well, based on these assumptions, we can't have this APR. Right?
Yeah, and then exactly. I mean, we'd have to change our dynamic, which. So this is the first direction of like, okay, let's pick an APR and then see what percentage of the total circulating supply would have to be locked. And that's this first set. So this first set here is like, it's assuming that there is one user who has a percent of the pool, and of all pooled tokens, this user has 5% of them. So they have 5% of liquidity in our liquidity. This is the whale, right? And then we start, let's see what happens to this. What is their experience, right? And it's like, okay, total earned, upfront amount, like these are all like
it's cool. It's a sanity check, basically.
Yeah, this first row is just a sanity check, and then in week 0, they've earned there's nothing in the pool yet. But then at the start. But then they have this much, they have this much, they have this much. And notice that it's always increasing because we're assuming that we have an APR of 200% all the time. And this person always has 5% of the pool. So the pool has to increase in total value locked and so is his amount. Right? It's kind of a weird thing. But out of this, we end up with some interesting numbers around liquid APR. So this is like the amount of APR that they get that's liquid. This is the real liquid amount that they could sell. And then, of course, the total APR is 200 the whole time. I haven't finished this one, but the idea for this one is to go the other route. Let's allow the APR to float, and then keep the percent of the circulating supply constant. So the farms will still all increase, but now the APR will float, and we'll see how the increase in the circulating supply due to liquidity, due to the global unlock and the global release and the new minting of tokens, or like the release of tokens from our GIV DAO and conviction voting, how that will also affect the liquidity mining percentages.
Cool. Real quick, this LP user is 13.25 million. That I feel like that's got to be. This should
just be deleted, honestly.
Should it be?
It's just sum of a number that doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So these are sanity checks to check the sum, right? So like,
what is this LP user? This is their stake. This is their tokens in the pool.
Let's see. This is 5% of the pool. I think it's the rewards that they get. Let's see. So they get 5%. It's C13. Oh, so that's the previous one plus. So it's a running total of how many tokens they've earned, I think. Total tokens to give divided by the number of weeks for the liquidity mining and what percent of the rewards they're getting.
Because we have this right here of the reward row in total earned.
Yeah, what is that? Total earned. So total earned. This also should not have a sum. Let's see. So this is 5% of, they're getting 5% of the A2. And then let's see. So this is definitely LP user reward.
Cool.
This is their reward. This is total rewarded.
To everyone.
Yeah.
Total rewarded to everyone. Okay. Well, so wouldn't that be 20 times D13?
Yeah, this should be, let's see, this is C8. Oh no, it's total rewarded. Yeah, why is that different? Let's see, so this is C8 times B12. C8.
Tokens distributed. Time. Percent of pool.
No, I guess total rewarded.
So that is their total reward for the LP user right there.
Yeah. But it's interesting that it doesn't match.
What is 13?
Yeah, this is 13. And then this is 9. So what is this then? So this is the running total. So then they get A2, total tokens, divided by the weeks. Is this just wrong? No. Let's see. I mean, this makes sense. 5% should be these nice round numbers. I'm not sure what this is. Let's just highlight
Me
this.
neither.
Let's just highlight this red.
Okay, cool. And just ignore it for now until we figure out what it is.
Yeah. I'll get into it. I don't think that that's used anywhere. So these running totals are not used anywhere. They're just like.
Is it just for sanity checks? Total?
Yeah, kind of. Total earned by.
Cool.
Up front. Let's see what this is.
What is that up front?
So this is looks like the liquid tokens. So claimable tokens.
Cool. And I imagine we're just using the initial unlock because even though every week that unlock percent changes.
Do we? Let's see.
It's just it's just the hard coded.
Yeah.
stat.
Yeah. So this is wrong. This is wrong. I need to fix that.
Okay.
Okay, so upfront total. This is the running total.
Cool.
Unlocked. Here we go. So this is a better. Is this a better unlocked number? Let's see. E9. E9. Total rewards claimable. Total earned. Yeah. Okay. So this is like better unlocked. Okay, so these are the actual claimable tokens. This previous one is used to calculate this one.
Okay.
Because this one D14, I think, but we'll check that out. And then locked. So this should 26, 25. Yeah. Okay. Total tokens earned. So yeah, this is a better ratio. This is a better example. Let's see. I'll just call it claimable. So these are real. And then, and then we have this liquid percent, which this looks real. After a year, it gets to 35%. That's about right. And then we get the liquid APR. So I think some of these columns some of these rows are, I have to go back and double check this, exactly how it's all working. But yeah.
Cool. This helps us visualize what a whale's world looks like.
Yeah. Or we can just do all of it, right? And just see the total numbers. Or we can see what 1% looks like. And we can kind of see like, okay, what does a user really experience? And this would be if they had 1% of all of the pools, right?
Totally. Yeah, it'd be cool to see like the average airdrop size and try and plug that in and helps us simulate what the mining will look like for different users.
Mm-hmm. So the to-dos, the big to-dos are to get some real estimates for the circulating supplies. And
cool.
And what was the other one? Yeah, and then we just start, gathering some data.
I can work on getting those estimates for the initial circulating supply if you want to figure out those things we were just looking at in the spreadsheet.
Yeah, and I don't want to make another table where we can iterate on the percent of the circulating supply. So.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Where are you going to do that?
I'll just do it here. Just below. This will be like the second.
Okay, let me see.
So this this right here, this area below is just the same. It's the same stuff as above, but I got to change all the formulas so that the APR is floating and that the circulating supply is constant.
Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. All right, I'll try and figure out that circulating supply number. Anyone else on the call? Is there any other to-dos that we could delegate?
Well, I think probably. Oh yeah, well this is a really easy one, but each one of these could be connected to the kind of like this one, basically this all the way down.
That's a great one.
That's a really
so every
easy
every 4 weeks being a phase, basically.
Yeah.
Some of the phase.
I don't know if Ashley or Danny, if you guys are down for that one. It's really pretty simple.
I'm scared to touch this.
Yeah.
I can just want to link this.
Yeah.
That other column.
Yeah, exactly. It should just be like
I can
this.
just do that.
Okay, cool.
For the percent per week.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. And this is 1 month, so it's not perfect, but just do 4 weeks.
Pick it up. Weeks.
Yeah. Each one being 4 weeks, and we have a 13.
Okay.
My brain doesn't math very well, and there's so many things that are connected to so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is scary. Well, I might ask you then for some questions just for helping come up with good assumptions on some of these. Like, for instance, how much of all the airdrop, yeah, we got to pick a percent that we estimate is going to basically get claimed. So knowing all these lists on Give token, maybe you can help me start thinking about what percent we think is going to get claimed of all the different groups we're airdropping to. And then we can start there.
Okay. And do we have research from other people that have done airdrops? Like, can we look at, the average percent of tokens claimed when an airdrop is done?
We can, yeah. We can look at any airdrop that's happened. We can basically go look at the smart contract and see what balance. Some of them have reclaimed their tokens, so that'll be a little bit harder. But like Uniswap, we can go see a bunch of Uniswap tokens still floating around in there. Any airdrop that hasn't reclaimed their tokens. So yeah, let's just check that out real quick. Check out Uniswap and everything that.
So there's a 0 month? And we can just basically make these into 4.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah.
If there's a 0 month, then we have 13, and we're good.
Okay.
So it should just be 4.
You want to follow along, Ashley?
Divided by 4? No, take these ones.
We're going to go to Uniswap. Hold.
Make them. Oh, and just make them. So make these ones go onto the other sheet.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Token distributor. I bet that's the name of the airdrop. Okay.
You want to
So
switch?
17.
Let's switch back.
Yeah.
Let's switch
I
back.
like that.
Because I'm having trouble with your computer too.
3.9. Okay.
Oh. Huh? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was just fucking.
Wait, go back.
I didn't do it.
Undo.
You did.
Undo.
You controlled it.
Okay.
So for Uniswap, 87% of their tokens got claimed. We probably won't do that well because we're going back, I think, longer, and also because our airdrop's not going to be as valuable as the Uniswap airdrop. So.
Right.
Or is publicized, and also it's probably not going to have probably the other thing is like people who get a lot of tokens will probably claim them, but we have such a long tail that I don't know. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. Like, because if I would say, like, we could probably assume the top 50 people will all claim their tokens. Maybe.
At what percent are you saying?
Well, I don't know. Just like it's probably a very different percent for the top 50 of the airdrop versus the bottom, 1,000.
Totally. Yeah, that's a good point too. So maybe we can try and factor that into the equation for sure. We definitely can. That's a good point. So. Let's just look at one other, just for reference. We'll check out the airdrop. Cool. 70% of Gitcoin's airdrop was claimed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pretty good. Okay. So maybe we'll get the top half will be 60%. We were thinking maybe, or 70%, and then the bottom half will be less. Be like top half probably 70% will claim, but bottom half maybe 30% will claim.
Yeah.
That brings it right to 50% if we do that. But 70% of the top half of airdrop recipients claiming 30% of the bottom half. Is there anything we got to change from there?
I mean, before you did that, I was thinking in my head like 50%. So I don't know. Maybe you could always try.
Cool. Yeah, let's try that. I think that should definitely help to have a sandboard. Okay, so now we're going to take this estimate, multiply it by our.
Actually,
Oh yeah, we gotta add up all the different airdrop recipients. So,
one extra. Because it's like starting at 0, it's like there's 53. So do I just add up
There's
the
52.
bottom one? Because there's the
Four-
0th one.
4 times.
4 times 13 is 52.
Yes, so should be.
So there's 53 because there's like one for each week, and then there's a 0th week. So there's
Oh.
53 weeks.
Oh, so then.
Just delete the last week,
Yeah,
or
the last week isn't real.
just delete the last week.
Well, the last week's percentage, it should be 0.
Okay, and so I just don't put it in the totals.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, but if the last week's, but then it doesn't add to 100%.
Yeah, because that's weird. That's okay. I'll just do this.
Just add 2% anywhere.
then basically, what else is there going to be day one other than like the airdrop recipients and the contributors? Maybe we should actually break up contributors versus airdrop recipients, because I bet we'll have a higher percent of contributors claim. But are there any other groups besides airdrop recipients and contributors, like that's going to contribute to the initial circulating supply? Givebacks, yes, but that won't happen. Oh yeah, are we going to do an initial giveback distro?
I don't know. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know if it'll be there day one, but we should. I assume we should for the people who are in this middle ground, right?
Right, who have room in the airdrop list, but
yeah, after the airdrop, but yeah, before givebacks program, we should probably do a nice little fat donation, like reward for them.
Okay.
Maybe 100%.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice.
That'd be really cool.
Anyone who donated on Giveth during that time gets 100% their money back and give tokens.
So cool.
That'd be cool.
Nice.
It reminds me of, do you guys ever use that Kiva?
I haven't used Kiva, but I've heard a lot about it.
It's super cool. Basically can like give microloans directly to people, and they have like a little profile, so you can see, you know, a mother with 3 kids who's raising $25 to go, you know, buy books for her kids to go to school, or buy a sheep, or go to milk it and make cheese, like anything. And if people are asking for small microloans, so you can donate to them, and then they pay it back. And then once you get it back, you can basically redonate it to somebody else on Kiva.
Wow.
It's super cool. So basically you start out, and then as long as whatever you deposit, you can just, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me a little bit. Okay. So for contributors, you guys think 75% is a fair estimate? They'll be claimed by contributors?
Because that's current and past, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'd say 70 to 75 is a good estimate.
Cool. I'll do 72.5. All right. And then I accidentally included future contributors. I need to take that out because they will not be included. Yeah. So yeah, other than that, I think that's our initial supply is actually very low. So far, without the give back distro, we're at 650K, 650,000 give. It's good that we're doing this exercise.
So wait, what? This is our percent. Wait, our amount.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what's the amount that will be actually like in the market. How many give will be circulating that aren't locked up or in the DAO or anything on day one. And so far, it's 650K.
Well,
I haven't done a give back yet, but
is that including the vesting, or are those will be unlocked?
this is unlocked. Yeah.
Okay.
And let's put that in.
You use like 13.3%.
Yeah, exactly. I just grabbed it from right here. Initial tokens.
13.33, yeah.
Yeah. I think we had as a placeholder a much higher amount. What do we have?
No, that's.
We had 2 million.
No, yeah. Yeah, but that's
not too far off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like assuming all of them were circulating of the ones that were airdropped, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like that's 13.33% of 15 million.
What if we went with something a little higher, like 20% or 22%, if we need double numbers?
With which percent? Oh, for the initial unlock? Yeah. Yeah. 13.33% is pretty low. So I'm open to that.
Why do we have
it's 13.33%, is that what DAppNode's doing?
13.33% locked, is that what that was?
Yeah, I think it's so that I think DAppNode was doing 10%. And the idea is that then we have a nice, like, people will actually want to go back and claim it on a regular basis. So it's to kind of, the lower amount claimable helps pump the APRs for the liquidity mining and makes more claimable every month, right? So then it's like more likely people will come back more often to play and have more attention. But we can always pump that. I think we need to get further along. I mean, we can of course adjust these numbers, but we'll need to get further along before we have enough data to understand what it means when we change these numbers.
Yeah, that's true. We don't really, we have this initial circulating supply number, but we're not quite sure how this impacts stuff yet. So we don't have to make any changes quite yet.
And then we have to make some guesses.
Give back distro.
What do you think? Make a guess on how much will be released every week.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. From the CV DAO, from the RGIV DAO, from these things, like how much of that circulating supply is released every week.
So this is just the total amount that will be unlocked for 1 week, and then the next week another 13.33% will be unlocked.
So based on whatever number we pick here, over this period right here, which is 4 years, it'll basically linearly unlock. So let's just imagine that it was 0% unlocked on day one. Then at the end of the first year, 25% would be unlocked. And at the end of the second year, 50% would be unlocked. If this was 4 years. So basically, this is just what's unlocked on day one. And then it'll every block will unlock for the next.
Are we getting home?
Years.
Guys, I'm going to pick this up and then have to go to my key.
Is that like?
So after this too, we'll figure out what the initial circulating supply is, and then we'll need to figure out an estimate of each week how much new supply is going to be entering how much new give is going to be entering the supply.
Right.
Oops. Okay. So let's see what we got. Have you seen this dashboard recently?
Oh, cool. No, I haven't looked at that for a while.
We need to update this. Griff, do you know how to update this?
Yeah, we go ask Fabio.
Okay, so we're missing, I guess, the latest month or so of data, so we'll have to estimate what we've been doing on average. $2,000 or so of donations per month. So let's just add another $2,000 here. And we'll say $8,500 of donations. And then we're going to imagine give. What are we kind of assuming is the par value of give for these calculations? 10 cents? 1 cent? 5 cents, maybe? Okay. Maybe 5 cents. 1 single objects. It's the total estimate for just like day one. So we can calculate how much give, estimate how much givebacks we want to give for this first distro. And of that being claimed, these are all users who have used Giveth before. So I imagine a good amount will be claimed. I'm going to put 60, 70, oh yeah, I think 70%. Unless anyone objects. That's another suggestion. So this will be.
And that 70%, that's just the initial distro, right? That's not like counting on each week or each 2 weeks, I guess.
This is just the first and the very first one that we do on day one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah, we'll figure it out. Going forward, I think it'll be higher because going forward, it'll basically be a set amount that we're rewarding every 2 weeks. And then we'll know because it will be capped by 75% of the value of the donation. So it won't necessarily be all that. But I think we can assume that it's going to be about 75% because, or I think, yeah, maybe not. I hope all of those givebacks are rewarded and that we're not doing a small amount, but it's okay if we are. But for the purpose of estimation, that will help because then we can really clearly estimate how much we'll be entering the supply every 2 weeks. So, oh, that helps. Givebacks too. These are actually going to be locked as well, right? So we'll do locked and unlocked. So this will be cool.
Hey guys, the internet cafe is closing, so we have to leave.
Aww.
Oh man.
We don't have to go home, but we can't stay here.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think we made some progress on getting the initial supply, circulating supply, and then next step is to figure out what's going to be entering the supply every 2 weeks. But I think we got a pretty good estimate here.
Yeah. My main goal here is to finish this spreadsheet. I believe I can get it done tonight. I don't have very many other things I have to do tonight. And then you guys should be able to take a copy of this spreadsheet, the simulation spreadsheet, and make a copy and then like play with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Cool, awesome. Thanks,
Will you guys
everyone.
get to play the ride, Laura?
No, I'm gonna pay